So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, and we're here with some phenomenal guests today. And Crystal, what are we going to talk about today?
So today we have the honor of having in our studio community members and business members in the Crenshaw district. And we also have Mr. Ken Hicks, who is the project manager of a pilot program called the Business Solution Center that was actually put together purposely for the businesses on the Crenshaw doing the subway expansion project,
the
right?
relocation of businesses, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it became the relocation of businesses. That wasn't what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the resource center that helps business. But before we do that, Ken, I was thinking today, and we're gonna give you guys the background on Ken and Taylor. That you guys are actually probably without really knowing it, because it was really for the purpose of protecting businesses, because the community was really screaming and making a lot of noises, and the contractors and Metro were on some really amazing hot seats, and so they had no choice but to make some stuff happen. They had to get action oriented, right? And because I was at the meetings, and but without you knowing it, you actually created a community coalition for the Crenshaw district. And I also have a client that I'm doing some QuickBooks training over on Central Avenue. And they have a community coalition or collaboration. They doing some stuff down there that I just blows your hair away, how they have created a cooperative environment for their businesses, and they support them, and they're there for them. They're riding up on bikes and saying hello, and people walking by the center saying hi. They got jazz concerts and all that kind of stuff going on over on Central Avenue. But as well as Crenshaw, this is really what that is. It's really, and if we continue it, and we move and we start doing it as a collaboration, then we could become that. So let me tell you what that community collaboration is. The process and participation of those people in groups and businesses and organizations working together to achieve a desired goal, right? So our goal is to protect our businesses in the Crenshaw district.
That's
yes?
right.
To make sure that they're there when that train goes up.
Absolutely.
So that they too can benefit. So we're going to first start with Ken Hicks. And Ken is the project manager over at the Business Solution Center. And it was a pilot program. He manages all aspects of the center's operation and day-to-day function of the project and its staff. And it serves as a liaison between Metro's management and developing and implementing client service activities. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So he goes out and they go out and visit the businesses. They have conversation. These I actually gotten to know a lot of the businesses, right?
That's right.
And being able to provide products and services to them that can help them grow their business and maintain during this process.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so with that,
She got it right.
Yes, you got it right. You got it right.
we're now going to talk to Ken about what the program is, what's the goal of the Business Solution Center, and then what has been the process over the last 3 years now?
3 years.
3 years, so we got one more year, right? Or 2 more years. 2 more years before the project is completed. So what has been that process? But first tell us more about what the Business Solution Center is supposed to be doing, or is doing.
Exactly. And thanks for having us on. I've known Gilbert for a long time, as well as you, Crystal. And essentially the Business Solution Center is a hands-on business assistance center primarily focused on providing pertinent solutions to individual businesses as they're impacted by the disruption by the construction of the Metro Rail. We have touched base with about 413 businesses. On a quarterly basis, we serve about 215. We have 215 client interactions.
Okay.
And it occurs in a variety of different ways. Primarily through canvassing. We have a dedicated staff, myself, Adam Dominguez, as well as Dakar Lee. We actually go out and we meet businesses on an individual level at their particular location. We also have workshops too. We've had a number of great workshops at our Business Solution Center. we're responsible for essentially sustaining those businesses, keeping them there, exactly what you said, making sure that they're there post-construction so that they can take advantage of all of the individuals that are traveling on MetroRail.
Okay, fantastic. I know we had Adam on the show, but not in that capacity. We had him in his capacity from Vermont Slauson earlier on. One of our first 2-3 shows Adam was on, and he talked briefly about it.
And let me just say this. We're a collaboration. We're the Los Angeles Urban League. Dale Richardson and Associates, who's my boss. We also have Vermont Slauson Economic Development Center. And so we work together with Metro to basically come up with the proper tools to help with the small businesses.
And you also have a number of us independent business people, professionals that have services that we provide services to those businesses as well, right?
Very good point. What I recognized early on was the fact that we needed subject matter experts to essentially come on and speak and help businesses in particular areas, whether it's bookkeeping and accounting, like yourself, website development, social media, IT assessments, help with Yelp. Sometimes our businesses don't even know about social media and how to even approach it, where it's a great opportunity, particularly our barbers and our salon stylists. In many cases, they need to be on Instagram. So we've got some consultants that actually can step in and meet with those businesses, help them in the marketing capacity. The biggest opportunity exists with the Business Interruption Fund. We have a Business Interruption Fund that Metro established for those businesses where they can qualify for up to $50,000 per year. They have to be in business at least 2 years, 25 employees or less. And we actually help many of those small businesses get qualified for the Business Interruption Fund. And this is actually part of our collaborative here, so I wanted to bring along my guests as well to talk a little bit about that too, because not only has Taylor Mayfield, for instance, not only has he taken advantage of the Business Interruption Fund, but he also has actually helped many of our businesses get their taxes prepared and prepare spreadsheets just like you have, so that they can actually go and qualify for the Business Interruption Fund.
Now, before we go on to the other guests, I would like you to tell us a little bit about the Business Interruption Fund and that $50,000 that these businesses can obtain if they have 25 or less employees. But prior to that, I want to tell you, man, if you need a job on the radio, you got that voice.
Even Felicia's going like,
you can come here anytime, man, anytime. As a matter of fact, we got some podcast spaces available. You got that voice, man.
Thank you, Gilbert. Appreciate that.
So, with that being said and that out of the way,
you had to make sure he knew.
I had to make sure you
the
know.
The possibility and the potential is definitely there, right?
You can make a lot of money here, man.
And I want to thank him because I've been in the community, working in the community for a very long time, 7 years with RBD, Recycling Black Dollars. But even before that, my business has always been about my community and my people. I'm unapologetically black, and I'm all about my people. But I'm also one that do a lot of outreach to my community, and so I want to thank you and for what you're doing, because we sometimes are not the easiest people to work with, and but those of us that are selflessly out there helping people reach their greatness, we need to give you a clap on the back and applaud for doing what you do, because I know it's hard.
I agree. I agree, man.
And we don't always get honored. It took me almost 15 years to get honored. And so in the last year, I mean, everywhere I'm getting honored, but it took 15 years for me to get mine.
I understand, Crystal. You deserve it. You deserve it, absolutely.
So we got to recognize you, my brother. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So with the businesses, as Gilbert was saying, he wants to know what exactly do they need in order to qualify for the Business
$50,000 Business Interruption Fund.
Well, as I mentioned, the program is run through Pacific Coast Regional. The Pacific Coast Regional administers the fund. They administer the fund. It's a $10 million fund that Metro actually set up, and it's for actually 3 lines.
Okay.
Wilshire Line, Little Tokyo, and then of course Crenshaw. Crenshaw, our businesses have actually been taking advantage of it for the better part of 2 years.
Okay.
Essentially, the criteria is such that you have to provide a number of different documents. Certainly, business license. You have to be in good standing within the community. You have to have all of your bills paid.
Yeah.
Certainly, you have to have your taxes prepared. You have to be able to submit those financials and those documents so that they can make a good determination.
Right.
They have to find out if you've experienced this losses, year-over-year losses.
Right. Okay.
And they look at your monthly profit and loss statements. So.
And with that being said, also, I'm listening to you. I'm putting myself in that position because I know I deal with a lot of small businesses trying to get documentation from them. And that's not the easiest thing. Yes. So I can just imagine you going out and said, okay, in order for you to be qualified, here's a checklist of items we need. Probably takes you forever to get them, right?
Well, we usually rely on Pacific Coast Regional to
do that.
To do that.
Okay.
Because they have their own staff.
Okay.
A lot of our focus is on the other services.
Right.
But if you can imagine, the number one request is for the money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Particularly if it comes as a grant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So, how many of the businesses so far? I know you've got over 200 businesses that you interface with on a monthly basis or so. How many of those businesses actually are approved for that funds?
Well, I can put it like this. If I'm not mistaken, there's been a number of, I'm not going to give you an exact number.
Right.
There's been a number of businesses that actually have qualified. Over $2 million in funds have actually been placed on with Crenshaw businesses.
Oh, wow.
Over $2 million.
Wow.
Yeah. And those grants come in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
My guests can talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah. So why don't we do that then? Why don't we have a guest?
Okay, so our guests that we have today, and these are all community-based businesses, is Mr. Taylor Mayfield. He's of my profession. He's in the accounting tax field. And year-round, right? You do provide year-round services, not just taxes, okay? And so he's been delivering services to the community for a little over 6 years?
A little over 6 years.
Right, but you've been in the business how long?
Oh, God. 20 years.
20 years. Okay, so 20 years. And and most of your businesses are from this community and kind of look like us?
Well, they do, all of them, as a matter of fact. And a lot of that praise goes to Ken, because actually my business is right across the street from so really easy. But I was one of the first businesses to actually get funded. And in doing that, that gave me the knowledge of how to go about helping other businesses.
That's
so
good.
Again, Ken or Adams or even sometimes the BIF itself would contact me and say, hey, we have some people out here, they need taxes, they need a gross analysis, a spreadsheet. Would you go work with them, so on and so forth?
That's
and that's
good.
what I've been doing.
That's good.
And let me just stop right here and say I am a member of Recycling Black Dollars.
All right. There we
He's
go.
in the house. Recycling Black Dollars, yes.
And thank you, Crystal.
You're so welcome. We were so glad to have you in the RBD family.
Absolutely. And Ken, you mentioned earlier about all the various workshops that you guys are giving. And I'm there. I'm there. Whenever there's a workshop, I'm again right across the street. It's usually around lunchtime, so that I can go that in.
That's right.
I think get a lunch. And
but it's some really good shops, Crystal. I've seen you do your thing as well, and it's a good thing you guys are doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, it's so funny because you've been in the community for 6 years. RBD, actually, we've always been in the Inglewood area because that's where Muhammad that was his turf there. But then right when he died, and the year after, the next director died, then we actually came down into the community. But I know during this process, I have met more businesses within our community, and you know, you usually get pushback, especially from Recycling Black Dollars, and why we don't support our own businesses. But that's not true down here. We have, and I think, again, I'm going to come back to the collaboration. We now know who we are. I referred many people to Taylor because I know now he's in there. So, and I don't like doing the taxes. I did it in the early part of my career, but I don't like that kind of pressure. That's nonsense. So I refer I'll do the books. I don't have a problem with doing that, and then I refer them out to a number of colleagues. And when I first started my business, that's actually how I got my clients, was because you guys don't like the box of receipts, so they would send them over to me, and then I would send them back, and I sort them out, put them in a spreadsheet, put them in a financial report, and then send it back over to them. But so I really didn't get to know you until I started going to a couple of meetings, and then I heard in how committed he was, and then asked around, and he came to RBD, and so now we're recycling some dollars because I send a number of people to him so that he can do their taxes.
That's great.
Yeah, and this guy over here, Mr. Ken Williams, who's the director of the School of Beauty.
The little old me, the other Ken.
The other Ken. So now Ken has been in this community for a short period of time, but you are with Universal Beauty School and have been around for over 100 years, right?
No, not quite.
How long? Not you.
88.
88?
Yeah.
Well, that's really
that's
close.
long. Yeah, that's long. 88.
So that's your father started it, or grandfather?
Actually, my grandmother.
Wow.
Hazel Williams started the first African American beauty college way back in 1929.
Really?
Yes. And she started a little school because she always wanted to be a hairdresser.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At that time, she tried to enter school, and they denied her because of her race.
Okay.
And so she was full of what they call gumption.
Right.
And so she studied with a couple of friends that were in school.
Okay.
And she actually challenged the state board and went up there with her girlfriends and demanded that they give her the test. And she passed with the highest score ever recorded.
See, that's what I'm
So,
talking about. When they say no, we got to be that disruptor. Go out there and create our own yes. That's what she did.
Absolutely.
So
Amazing.
before the Business Solutions Center, I did not know about them. I knew about Maranatha. I knew about
Marinello's.
Yeah. I knew about Pacific.
Yes.
I knew about all of them, but never knew that there was a university beauty college.
That's amazing.
At all. In
And
fact,
that means I need your services.
right.
We got to get the word out.
and if I had known, I had a niece. I have a niece right now that went to Marinella. And I would have preferred her to go over there because she never got to finish because of what was going on over there. But she started out in makeup. She went to one of the schools up in Hollywood to do cinema makeup. And then she wanted to do hair. So that was, because that's the only one you hear about, right? That's the only one we've heard about. And so she went over there, but she didn't get to finish her hours. But she's doing makeup. She was doing makeup on set in Egypt for the last 2 years. So now she's on her way back.
So maybe we could bring them in as one of our sponsors, and then we can do that global promotion and marketing and get it out there for them. So we want to get the word out.
Well, we're going to need you, and I'm going to ask for your help because I don't know if they say there's a fine line between genius and insanity.
That's true.
I don't know if
you don't know where
genius,
you are right now.
But we are in almost the final stages of the build out of our new school.
Oh, fantastic!
That's going to be in Inglewood. It's going to be on Florence and Market.
Okay, so not too far from where wasn't there Melanella? Right. Is that same spot?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
We have a different spot. We actually started the process before Marinello's went out.
Okay.
And so it took us about 1.5 years to get all the approvals that we needed.
Yeah.
We finally got our last approval. Our last inspector should be in the building as we speak right now.
Okay, fantastic.
And then we're looking at another 45, 60 days.
Wow.
And we're going to have a beautiful school of cosmetology and barbering.
Wow.
Fantastic. Well,
Yeah,
congratulations.
We're the only school in Inglewood.
We definitely got to get the word out. Now, do you guys sell your own products, beauty products?
Not our own private label, but
You probably should.
We sold a building that we had a school on Manchester, Vermont. We were there for many years.
Yeah.
And retail was a big part of my business.
Yes.
So I love retail. I actually came from retail.
Yes.
Okay.
I started with Vaughn's Grocery Company in the 70s and became a store manager.
So you've got the background.
I do.
And what I'm thinking of is, with that history that you've got, 88 years, the name is out there, the brand is out there, so why not sell the products? Because as we know in the black community, a lot of African American consumers, they go purchase their product from somewhere else. You see what I mean?
That's true.
Why not through you?
Why not?
Why not?
You know.
So let's make that happen.
Well, I plan on doing that.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know there's commercial products and there's professional-only products.
Yes.
So, you know, we as a school can get the professional products.
Yes.
And that's what we enjoy because they do a better job.
Yes.
They're not just for everybody.
Right.
So, we plan on doing a lot of retail.
Expanding that product line, I'm telling you, it's gonna be tremendous.
And actually, for you, I have a passion business that has been on my drawing board for a while with another business partner of mine, and eventually when there's some personal things going on with her that she's got to work out, and then we're going to do it. But I've been actually going to beauty shows and conferences for the last 15 years, and all over the country. We are going to open up a men's grooming salon, and high-end. And so we've gone out and made all our connections and met some people. But one of the things that has always baffled me was, and I, as I said, I go to the Vegas show. There's a show, I can tell you where all the trade shows are because I've been to them and I've met people and I have connections. And one of the things that when I go, I don't see us. And but when you go to those shows, trade shows, you're seeing other ethnicities, and they take this industry to a high level, and it's all about retail. I've actually gone to a trade show with the Professional Beauty. I'm a member of Professional Beauty Association, PBA, and we actually met all the overseas distributors. They came so that you could see what they were doing all over the world, and it was just for professionals. And I was going like, okay, where's us? And literally, I could count 5 of us that were actually at this show. And so, you know, over the years, it's been a 10-15-year period, right, that we've been doing this. So I went to one recent, I guess the last one that we went to, and it was in Vegas at Mandalay Bay, and I'm looking going like, look at this. They have hair extensions highlighted. It was like on this high level, high tech, like hair extensions just started yesterday, but it was all blonde hair. And they were all lit, and women were, oh, look at this, and going, oh my God. So we have not embraced an industry that we spend the most money in.
Yeah, and to your point, I'm thinking about, and Ken can attest to this, when you look at our the Crenshaw quarter, the businesses that we work with, it's generally led by general retail in terms of industry,
right?
Restaurants, and then number 3, beauty and barber. And so we have a large contingent of hairstylists and barbershops on Crenshaw Boulevard. I'd also like to give Ken a plug too, because Ken has also been on the State Board of Cosmetology and actually held workshops at our offices.
That's amazing
for the barbers and the beauty stylists.
Right.
And so he has a salon.
Oh,
okay.
He didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
Called Jazzing It Up.
Jazzing It Up. Oh, I didn't know that part. I knew about the other part.
You gotta start tooting your horn there.
Yeah, man. What's up with you?
It up. I'm like y'all. I'm stealth. You know, I'm just trying to make my way.
I hear you. I hear you.
But that represents an opportunity to actually take those products you're talking about and actually have a distribution network right here.
That's what
right here. You don't have to let anybody stop you from doing anything. I think there's enough power and there's enough talent, because I know my stylists have been some extremely talented individuals. Absolutely. In fact, one of my stylists, she was very creative and very innovative. And when they had the what is the piece? They have a name for it, for when you do weaves and it connects and it makes it look natural.
Lace front?
Yeah, not the lace front. Oh. The
closure?
Yeah, the closure. Mm-hmm. She actually came up with that before it hit the market, because she did it with us. She did, my girlfriend, and she was sitting there. She goes, you know what? How about if we did this and this and this? And so she went and they got to practicing, but she was too frightened to actually go out. And I was at a hair show, and you will feel some kinship with this. I was in a meeting with a white lady, and she had found and developed ear coverings for children to keep from burning their ears. Now, when do they have to be worried about that? And I'm looking at and we looked at each other going, I can't believe this. How come a black stylist didn't come up with this?
You remember the wooden spoons?
Right, exactly. And the cloth and all that. What? This was just a little rubber piece or silicone piece that fit over the ear to keep you from burning the ear. Now, I know when I was a little girl, my mother was a hair dresser, and that's how we grew up. She was a nurse and that, so she did that as her side gig. And I get burnt ears all the time, and I'm going, well, I know we have designs and trademarks and patents and products that could be coming out of this space.
So she didn't patent it or trademark?
Nothing. She never even talked to anybody. And then sometime down the line, she goes to a beauty supply store and she goes, oh, look, somebody did this. All casual. Me, I was kind of upset when she told me. It's like, you already had this.
Yeah.
And if you were interested, then I had people that could have helped you with this.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Right. We don't talk. We don't tell each other what we need so that we can utilize the resources. I have a lot of friends that are in the hair industry on a different kind of level. Right. And we had been doing the show, so all we had to do was take her to introduce her to anybody and could have gotten it patent. One of my good friends is a patent attorney, and it would have been a done deal. She would have been a very wealthy woman. She actually got out of the business because she was worried about her retirement, so now she works for the county.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I want to ask, because I've been thinking about, I know we got 4 minutes before the next break, but one of the things I want to ask, because this has been a mystery to me, this organization called Sally that sell those products, is this a foreign entity? I mean, who are they? Because I know they're not from the community. So who are they and why are they dominating that part of the industry?
Well, I don't know who owns Sally, but I know Sally is international. Okay,
Yeah.
And we think, okay, United States, we're the biggest country, or we're not the biggest country, but the wealthiest country in the world. Well, not if you're international. Okay, they have, I think, something like 5,000 stores across the United States, and then probably another 5,000 all over the world. And it's I guess part of the reason why we're here today. See, you're bringing light to things that don't get light.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, because who are they?
Right. Because we need to know that. If we're spending our dollars, we need to know where those dollars are going and to whom and why. If you're a local business, why aren't you getting that business? You see what I mean? So we got to do some research on that.
Well, it's I want to say it's the Costco effect, because big takes over small.
For sure.
I remember when there were more than a few black-owned beauty supplies, and then they got squeezed out. I remember when there were nail salons that weren't Asian-owned, and then we got squeezed out. Well, we just haven't collaborated enough as a people, and it has nothing to do with prejudice or discrimination, but everybody needs to take care of themselves.
That's right.
You take care. I'm my brother's. I feel like I'm an industry advocate. And so when Ken hits, and I thank Ken because I wouldn't be here. I'm the fruit of his labor. He walked the streets. He beat the streets. He was grassroots. And we met and we connected. And he said, "Hey, Ken, would you speak to some barbers and some people about the industry?" And I did, and it went over well, and we've developed a relationship based on that. Well, it's like I walked over here today. I didn't drive my car. I walked. How many people walk anywhere? I look at my watch. The watch says, I walked 1,000 steps. Yay, I want my 1,000 steps today. So a lot of times we don't explore our own community to see what's here, what's not here.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think you're bringing up a very, very crucial point that we need to explore. Because first of all, we need to know how many more businesses like you are around. I mean, I'm sure it's a handful if there is. And also, we want to find out how many customers are in this demographic that we can really target and market your products and services to who don't even know that you exist. You see what I mean? So all of these things that we're doing on the Business Zone is all about that, to make sure local businesses get the exposure they need, the local customers understand what's in their community, and we bring that marriage together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, my business is a little different because my business is giving back.
Yeah.
Okay, when we train a student and they graduate and they start off on their own, I see a lot of them kind of fall off because, I don't know, there's a weird science between creativity and business knowledge.
Right.
You have to have a little bit of both. Most of these young ladies and men are very creative, can make a lot of money, but they don't know what to do with their money.
They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go.
Because it's a cash-based business.
Go ahead,
Gilbert, to your point, it's interesting that you asked that question about consumer spending.
Yeah.
I brought some of those figures.
Oh, good.
A lot, and this is something you may want to consider.
Yeah.
Within a 1 mile radius of Crenshaw and Vernon, so there's $300 million being spent on consumer spending. That was in 2016.
Wow.
If you go 3 miles out from Vernon and Crenshaw, $2.8 billion are spent.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That's just Vernon and Crenshaw.
And see, maybe many of the local businesses are not even seeing some of that cash. I mean, they might be seeing some, but they're not seeing their appropriate amount.
That's right.
You see what I mean? So that's what we need with these collaborative that we're forming. That's what we want to do. And with that being said, we want to come back to this topic and this subject because this is phenomenal. This is great information. Those of you who are listening, I'd like you to go ahead and give us a call. Our phone number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. This is the Business Zone with Crystal
and Gilbert.
Let's take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Welcome back to the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan. We've got some phenomenal guests in the studio, and this topic we're talking about today, it's about tapping into resources and making sure that our local customers are aware of what we provide in terms of product and services. And Crystal, you had some questions for one of our guests here, Ken.
Well, let me ask both of you, since the inception of Business Solutions Center, how has it helped both of your businesses in fact that now people know that you exist because Ken is bringing you in through the back door and insisting that they use you? So how have your businesses increased since that time, especially you, Taylor?
Yeah, well, mine has, quite frankly, I do taxes. That's something people have to do, whether they want to or not.
Yeah.
And so I've even gone over to Ken's school and did some presentations and talked about it. We have an issue with that, and I'm going to stay on that subject because that's why I'm here today, and that's what I do primarily. We don't do our taxes and we don't do them right, and that gets us in trouble. Yeah, it really does. So for me to go out, because I love the community, that's why I'm where I'm at. That's why my colors are red, black, and green. If you've been in my office, it's just a black theme. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. Right. And so I'm trying to spread the love, to let maybe the younger generation know they've got disconnected from what we had back in the day. We need to bring that back together, because much of what you said earlier, as far as why we do what we do, we are very faddish. And in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but when we started going to Vietnamese nail shops and Korean nail shops, when we got away from the black nail shop, it became the thing to do. So now everybody jumped on board, and now what happened to the black businesses?
Right.
Gone, Yeah. But to your original question, no, absolutely right. I've expanded. I've expanded my business. Each day it gets larger. I take a challenge on me because I'm open, as you said, Chris. I'm open year round. So year round. So my tax thing turns into back taxes, turns to office and compromise. I do some notaries, so I have to be very creative to have those streams of income coming in throughout the year, and I have increased my sales, if I would, and numbers from last year to this year.
Now, let me ask you this. What are some of the things, because I'm hearing you and I'm hearing Ken, what are some of the things that you think that business owners like yourself can do to attract the local consumers so they'll come back and purchase and support you as opposed to going somewhere else?
Well, what we do in particular, and again on this deal about taxes, when someone comes into my office, we sit down and we teach them about taxes. It's not to run in, get your money, and let them run out. We stay connected with them. I'll look at their situation and say they have to pay back $3,000 or $4,000. Right. Why? What are you doing wrong? Are you claiming those exemptions? And they probably are, that you shouldn't. And then I explain to them why they shouldn't do it. I'll give them stories that I have from other customers and let them know how disastrous that can be. And we all know you can lose your house, your car, you could end up in jail. And, the Internal Revenue Service is not a cash cow, right? So again, it's that kind of situation. But, just constantly teaching, learning, it just goes on and on and on, and it's just a beautiful thing.
Ken, what are some of the things you see going out there in the community that business owners can do to try to attract those consumers to them?
Well, certainly, I think having a digital presence is helpful. It's not a be-all, end-all. But many of the businesses that come to us, they say we need help not only with the Business Interruption Fund, but we need help with social marketing, website design. We need help with business development in general. And so oftentimes one of the services we do provide is we've actually built 19 websites for businesses on Crenshaw Boulevard that had previously not had a digital presence. And many of those businesses have actually come back to me and said, hey, listen, I got 4 new clients or 6 new customers
as a result of that.
As a direct result of you building their website.
That's great.
That's one area that I think that they need help with. Then certainly things like what you do, certification. I've been trying to engage one business to get certified. You know what I'm thinking about? Through you. So that business can actually go out and get bigger jobs. Right. Crystal, You know what we've done with our QuickBooks training.
Yes.
So a lot of times they don't have accounting systems in place. That's why we utilize Crystal.
Exactly.
So,
and I'm thinking, based on that one particular client that you and I are talking about, I'm thinking maybe some of these clients are afraid or they don't know why they don't want to engage. You see what I mean?
Right.
So maybe we have to set up some kind of training to educate them as to what can be done to help them elevate their business.
Right. I mean, it's if you're certified through Metro, certified through Edison, certified through any vast number
of county or
there's going to be opportunities that are going to come to your doorstep.
Oh yeah.
And if you're prepared to take advantage of them, you've got a great shot.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, going back to the Vegas thing, right now, even the private entities, the casinos, they're looking at certifications too. And they're going, if you guys are not certified, we don't even want to talk to you.
That's right.
So, it's the same thing here. And many of these small businesses, they're saying, well, why do I need to get certified? Or how am I going to get contract? They're not giving us contract. Well, you don't know. If you don't try, you don't know.
That's right.
There's a lot of opportunities there with the state of California. They have contracts wherein they don't need to advertise it to the whole public. Right? All they need is 3 bids. 3. And if they know you and they like you, they can call you up and say, hey, you know what? I have an opportunity here. I want you to submit a bid. That's it. Right. And then now you have 3 in 1 chance of getting that opportunity as opposed to 1 in a million when it's public. And we're talking up to $299,000 on this.
Right.
So those are good opportunities.
Absolutely.
And there's certain industries that, because not everybody's college material, so those of our young people or our people have used more trades, and so the hair stylist, and because it's quick and in and out. You go to school for that period of time, and then you actually can be doing hair can actually be making money. Barbering is even faster, right, than doing that. Because I don't know how many hours do they need in order to
1,500.
Okay, so both of them are 1,600 for women for the hairstyle.
Cosmetology 16, barbers are 15.
Okay, so but you could still get in and start making money right away. And some of the reason that they don't track is because it is about it's a cash and carry business, right? And they've never been taught how to manage. They don't have financial literacy on that level. Even our businesses, Taylor, don't have. There's a difference even from financial literacy from a personal standpoint and business financial literacy. Because if they don't know that their team and the financial consists of the person doing their taxes, their CPA, their attorney, and their mentor or their coach, so that they know when it's time to hire and that they have the money and the resources in order to hire employees. What are the tax benefits for creating training programs and apprenticeship programs that you can benefit from? I was just telling Felicia that. She wants to teach young people how to do this business. Sure. So there are actually apprenticeship programs that give you tax benefits, right? I mean, that's what we're talking. That's what's going on in Washington right now is that wealthy person is saying, how do I benefit? How do I cut my taxes? And how I cut my taxes is what programs out there that I can be involved in that I don't have to pay taxes for.
And also you brought up a good point, because with many employers right now, there's the state of California, they've got a program called ETP training program, entrepreneurial training program. And I think it's called employer training program.
Employment training panel.
Yeah, employment training panel. And they provide the funds to employers to train their employees into learning those areas of skills.
That's right.
So that's something that a lot of employers don't know, and this is something that Crystal and Crystal and I, we've been, because we have a contract with Mount Sac right now. And you see what I mean? So we can bring that in to your place of business.
Right, the young people that want to. And I'd like to say, based upon the conversation that we had before we came on the air, we need to start preparing the people that are in your school, not just to do hair. The ones that have the business acumen, let's start training them so they can then be business owners. So you asked the question at break, how many African American women actually wear wigs, and 6 out of every 10 wigs that are purchased are purchased by African Americans.
Wow.
And it is
now, is that local?
That's all over, national, nationwide. $1.1 billion is generated from the export of wigs. Just wigs, not extensions.
That's very
hair,
yeah.
just that.
Yeah. Well,
and then there's the retail, the business supply stores, which is what I talked to you about. They actually represent $15 billion. And 90% of that revenue comes from us.
90%.
96% of that industry comes from us.
Whoa, we're leaving a lot of money on the table.
Yeah. And now it's not just women. Men you get the little thing, they got texturizers to get the natural to be, you got to go in and buy product.
They got male wigs now.
They got male wigs, they get their threading done.
Yes.
So they are actually in the maintenance business more so than the women. In fact, the interesting thing about the men, and which is why we chose men over women nails, was that even during the recession, during from 2009 to 2015, the male industry went up about 15% in products and services because men get their hair cut more frequently than women do.
2 to 3 weeks.
Unbelievable.
And only the community is paying $15 to get their hair.
Yeah.
Most men are paying, if they're in outside of this community, they're paying anywhere between $45 to $65 to get a haircut.
Now, Ken, where is your business located?
3419 West 43rd Place, right across the street.
Right down here.
Yes, been there since 1988.
Wow.
And I think last estimate, we've trained about 15,000 licensed cosmetologists.
Now, are you right adjacent to the Akibambu, that Jamaican restaurant right there?
Well, we're directly across from the park.
Oh, okay.
So, they're
on the north side.
There used to be a beauty supply on the corner there.
Yeah.
It's no longer there.
Right.
Okay. But we're, you can't miss us. There used to be 2 buildings that were filled next to us, but they're vacant now.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm thinking that, there's something that we should be able to do to bring in more business right there. I mean, that recruitment, I don't know where you are in recruitment.
Well, actually, you should have picked up you should have picked up the business from Manila, right?
We picked up about 50 students from Marinellos, and most of them have graduated now. So, but
so we want to keep the word
I like to
out
think
there.
we're the best kept secret, but we don't want to be a secret anymore.
Yeah, we don't want to be a secret.
Yeah.
We can operate stealth. We don't need to be a secret. We can do it stealth.
Right.
Because I like stealth. You know why?
Yeah.
Because when you do stealth, your competitors don't even see you coming.
You know what?
They don't know you're coming.
And if I can make a point, Ken is in a prime location in both schools. So his existing school and his new school are within walking distance of the new Metro Rail station.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we got to get that out.
But what we need to do is not just hair. We need to get them prepared to run businesses. Then they'll have their tax returns. They can actually buy homes and set aside money for their pensions and so forth, and continuing their education. Because I know over the years that I've gotten my hair, I spent some of that money because that's important to me. And I know when I go into the salon, I'm out there, hey, are you guys doing this? Why are you getting out of the business? What's wrong with you? This is a very lucrative business.
A lot of people are coming back to the business because we've had a lot of older people come back and enroll in our school.
It's billions of dollars on the table.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot, but we're not. We need to position ourselves better so that people know who you are. So when you go to a show, you're not going to. When there's a trade show, they need to know who the schools are, right?
I agree.
What's the name of the business again?
It's Universal College of Beauty, Inc. And like I said, we're right in the heart of Leimert Park, 3419 West 43rd Place.
Yeah.
Our new school should be opened up in July. And, just one quick point. I think we're so inundated with bad news that when we hear good news, it kind of rolls off our back.
Right, exactly.
I'd like to think we're a good news school because one thing that makes us really different, and probably why we're here and some schools aren't anymore, is that even though we're a fully accredited school, we don't require the students to take loans out. Like most schools do.
No, that's good.
So the student, and it's part of the reason. It's not that we don't like the money or wouldn't want the money. We would make more money if we gave students loans, but we have to educate our students prior to getting loans so they can understand.
Right,
guess what? I have to pay this back 6 months after graduation or whenever.
Right, exactly.
And a lot of the schools had high default rates, and that drove them out. UEI. Some
I remember those guys.
Yeah, some of those other guys.
They pushed them out with the Sally Mae loans.
Sally Mae.
That put them in
Freddie Mac.
And Freddie Mac. And a lot of times, because they had to pay them back 6 months after, they didn't make the hours, so they really couldn't even get their license. They couldn't even sit for the state board. So now Catch-22, and a lot of them got caught up in this Catch-22.
And a lot of those schools were not even accredited. A lot of the UEI you're talking about, they weren't accredited.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But they're out there pushing it like they're accredited. Yeah. So we need you to step up to the spotlight right now. I don't know in terms of, volume, how well you do, but we should be doubling and tripling that.
Well, we're looking forward to great things at our new school. Our other school does very well. Our graduation rate is very high. Our licensure rate is very high, in the 90% right now. And we just want to keep. I want to go to another generation. I'm third generation. I have a daughter. I'm hoping that we can continue because most black businesses fail within 5 years.
5 years, exactly.
And also, I want to throw some stats out there for you. First generation generally work towards making the business successful about 90%. Second generation, you're getting about 50%. Third generation, they're not interested in your business. They don't want to be a part of it. Yeah. So you're talking about fourth generation. That's going to be a big challenge for you. So you got to have something to incentivize them and get them involved in that.
That's true.
In fact, what Gilbert says is absolutely true, because that's what's happening with the Korean-owned beauty supply stores. They're third generation. They don't want to be.
They don't care about
7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Right? Yeah. They don't want to do that. So that's why they're open to selling those businesses, because they don't have anybody to pick them up. So here's what I say is, Taylor and I and Gilbert and create a business program for you. I teach kids. There's a program that I use to teach young people how to be entrepreneurs. It's called the Nifty program, and I'm a certified teacher, and we're actually getting ready to start a 10-day intensive biz camp. And so in 10 days, those kids will have a business plan, and they will pitch and they will compete. They will actually have enough business where they could start a business. So we could do something like that for you, make that part of your curriculum. And then Taylor's coming in talking about the tax benefits and how to work it, making sure that when they come out of school and start working in a salon, that they're knowing that it's important to pay their taxes and the incentive why they need to pay their taxes, right? Because now we're getting them ready to be business owners, whether it's the salon, retail, utilizing your retail experience. So now they're just not getting hair. They're getting a full program. That's what Paul Mitchell does. When they come out of Paul Mitchell or Vidal Sassoon, and I have a friend that's been wanting to open a salon because he's a hairstylist. He's a stylist to the stars. So his school was going to be all based upon how to become a stylist. He used to make almost $300,000 a year, and from Eddie, barbering. We ain't talking anything else. Barbering, because he was Eddie Murphy's his specific barber, and the guy that did Steve Harvey. That's a lot of money. That changes and revolutionizes a community when you give them the tools that they need to change.
And to your point, because Chris, you're reading my mind. That I was about to talking about. And Ken, you have a hub, man. You got everybody's like right there. The one time, I went across the street, I'm talking to his students about taxes. Do you know how focused they were. I told Ken. Remember I told you that? They were focused. These young people were focused because they know what's going on around them. There are a lot of young black entrepreneurs.
Right.
I know you guys know that more than I do. Right. And they're just popping up. They got a lot of energy. Yeah. And I think this is the group. Yeah. And as Krista was saying, if you could make it some kind of a curriculum or make it part of what you're doing, just push it in there in some manner. Because 96%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's huge. 96%.
No, I'm not. I have done extensive, and the reason I did when I came back from the conference last year, and I met that young man, and he told me he had opened up 92 beauty supply stores. Like, whoa, my numbers, and I had already been to the beauty show, so I knew what the industry could do. Yeah. I went, okay, I got to keep talking, and somebody hears me. Right. So yesterday, I was talking to one of my colleagues that's in the real estate business. I said, so can you find me some investors that were willing to go in and buy up some stores if they're out there on the market? We will find somebody that will be able to give them the business acumen. So it was absolutely perfect that you chose both of them. We will teach them how to be business owners, and then we can have them ready to move in as managers. And then all you're doing is creating the franchise method, right? That's really how Sally's. So you asked how, and it's a privately owned, it's a public company, and the shares are like $19 a share. That's how they did it. They're an actual conglomerate. So why can't we be a conglomerate, right? And as I said to Glenda when I was talking to Glenda, I said, this is an industry that white folks don't care about. They don't care how we making money in the beauty industry. It's not something that they're interested in. That's a frivolous business to them. You could make the $15 billion and they wouldn't even know you made it.
So here I have two thoughts right now. One of them, I'm going to start with the second one first. So you do barbering also. So there are a lot of young men out there, they're not working, they're not doing anything. Maybe we can recruit those guys, bring them in, and bring them into the barbering, university, so they can learn that skill. If you've seen barbershop, and it looks glamorous to us, watching it on a show. So we can do the same thing where we take these young guys and we turn them into professional barbers. And I don't know if you're doing it right now. Maybe you have competitions and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying?
We're about to.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised. There are a lot of young men that are working out of their garages and cutting hair. And just pick it up as a skill, just like there's a lot of young women that are braiding out of their house. Well, we're also going to have a specialized braiding course.
No, that's important, so that they understand how to hair care, how to take care of the hair.
But we also have to get involved with the government and more. And it's like,
you would be a perfect candidate for MBDA, the Minority Business Development Agency, because what they do is, just so you know what they do, the MBDA, they have funds. I think they have about $100 million right now. The current president is trying to slash that. So what they do is they have these funds that they make available to businesses like yourself. It's usually to nonprofits. So if you can align yourself with some nonprofit through Ken, then you can get that fund so you can provide the training for these guys. You see what I'm saying? So then they come in, they get the training, and then the next question I wanted to ask you is, after they're done with the schooling, the training, the 1,500 hours or 1,600 hours, what's the next step? Do you connect them with some entities to start the business, or how does it work right now?
One of my nicknames was Mr. Placement.
Oh, okay.
And before I became a salon owner, that was a big part of my job, because when you're accredited at school, they care about graduation rate, placement rate, licensure rate.
Yeah.
So, after they're licensed, you got to find them work. Well, in the state of California, there's over 48,000 establishments here.
Yeah.
So just within a 100-mile radius, there's about 7,500 salons. And so it's easy because, a lot of times the salons have openings, and if they have a good owner and they have relatively good business practices, they can build fast. And even myself, I was a novice 10 years ago to the salon business. I knew everything about schools, but I gambled. I started my first salon. It was called Just Because. It was on Vernon and 8th Avenue, and it was amazing to me. For the first 6 months, I was empty, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? I have a beauty school. But after that 6 month, it just said boom, and it grew, and it grew. So it allowed me to open up my new salon. So a lot of times, we graduate from the school of hard knocks instead of the big USCs or UCLAs. Well, we have to have access, and we're in the information age. So, I mean, your cell phone has more, We grew up, we didn't know what cell phones were. I mean, we saw the first cell phones, they were like suitcases.
Right, exactly.
And now we have access to knowledge that we didn't have. Now, now it's what do we do with the knowledge?
Right. And so we have to collaborate to make that happen. There's another guy, Good Fred's, his son actually has a school.
Steve Ellis.
Steve Ellis.
I know Steve.
He's been in a couple of my classes. And so he's actually started teaching barbers, carrying on his father's business, because he's been in the community probably as long as your father has been in the business, and Virgie. I think they all kind of started around the same time.
His father actually graduated from our school.
Because he's been a big Good Fred was in it for a long time.
Right.
So let's go. We're at the bottom of the hour. Let's go ahead and take another quick break, and we'll bring you right back. Usually this time on our show, at the 4:30 hour, Crystal and I, this is our hour. We take care of it, but this is so interesting. We want to go beyond 5 o'clock. So let's go ahead and take a quick break, bring you guys back, and let's talk some more. Let's get into this, because this is great.
Thank you.
So take a break.
Okay.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Welcome back to the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, and we're having a great conversation here. Just so you know, if you're just tuning in, the Business Zone is a platform for supply diversity, contract providers, and small businesses where they come together and they access opportunities, and that's exactly what we're doing here today, Crystal.
Exactly. So, Ken, the Business Resource Center, what are the demographics of the individuals up and down Crenshaw and the ones that you're that's servicing and on the loan process?
Sure. Of the 413 businesses that we've been in contact with, about 65% of them are male owned, and about 35% are female. The ethnicity, 56% African American, 16% Latino, 11% Asian, and the remainder other.
Right. So, and can you said that I was in your head when you said that, and it's because even before Trump, there's a lot of conversation that myself and a lot of my colleagues and some of the think tanks that I've sat in on how do we make a change in our community. Dr. Anderson, you guys know Dr. Claude Anderson, is how do we change? Dr. Rosie, that's right here. How do we change our state? Because there was a report that came out last year, that it would literally take us 249 years to be able to catch up to white America when it comes to money, because most of our businesses are moms and pops. And you know they don't file taxes if it's a cash-based business. We know they don't ever be over or above incomes of $30,000, $40,000. And my personal opinion, if you're in your own business making $30,000, $40,000, why are you in business? Because you can make more than that. You can make at least $60,000 working for somebody and not having the headaches that go along with being in business for yourself. Right. So it's that education process. That's one of the reasons we do the youth camp, is because we want children at a young age to recognize the potential.
That's right.
That is out there.
That's right.
The young man, in fact, we've had this conversation on the show, Ball, that was just drafted by the Lakers last night, right? Alonzo Ball, right? So with his dad, the tennis shoe, and he was charging, what $600 for the shoe? And so people had their comments, and it's like, that dad that's a good decision, because there's no guarantee that his son won't get hurt.
That's right.
But while he's on this trajectory, he gonna sell a whole lot of shoes. I bet you last night they probably didn't he make enough shoes after he was drafted last night. And $600 was no kind of money when you want something, because you see that star that's about to rise.
He has a broad vision.
He's got a broad vision.
And one thing about Southern California, and I always try to impress upon young people I come across, I say this is the seventh leading economy in the world.
It is.
And there's a lot of money to be had here, particularly in the areas that you never think of, not only construction trades, but entertainment, tourism, biotechnology, manufacturing.
Personal services.
And if you want to find a supply chain, there's no better place to have it than in Southern California.
Right, exactly. And now, used to be in the beauty industry, it was guarded where you could go get your products. You can go on eBay. You can go to AliExpress, order your stuff, and get it here. We teach your students how to collaborate. They can then go order in large bulks and have product in their stores that's not breaking them. You take 6 of them together and create a collaboration, and you got money. That they can make $2,000 in a day.
Yeah. You make me think about one of the businesses that we have on Crenshaw Boulevard. One of them is called Dewa Books. Dewa Books is one of the largest providers of scented oils and candles and incense on the West Coast.
And he's been around a long time.
He's been around a long time. He's right here on Crenshaw Boulevard. We got a lot of great small stories here. We have some doctors and dentists too that actually operate on Crenshaw Boulevard. And I need to make that point because they're flying under the radar. We've got a surgeon here. That's actually providing all kinds of surgical procedures right here on Crenshaw Boulevard.
Right.
We've got great dentists. Not only that, we have some of the best cultural entertainment here as well. Just had Barbara Morrison open the California Jazz and Blues Museum in Lamert Park. You've got the Vision Theater and all the great things that are going on there. You've got Hot and Cool Cafe is going to open on Degnan Boulevard. So we need to let people know about all the good things that are happening down here. It's just not a construction zone.
Now, once the rail construction is complete, what are those stores going to look like along the corridor? Are they going to look the same way? They're going to give them a facelift? What's going to happen?
That's a good question. That's all largely dependent on the property owner.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've been trying to do is encourage them to improve their facade.
Yeah.
Give you an example. Wells Fargo just had an essay contest for to renovate your business. I'm not a big fan of Wells Fargo, but they did have a renovation essay contest.
Yeah.
We try to encourage a number of our businesses to compete for that $10,000.
How did that go?
They're still judging the essays. Three of our businesses actually provided essays so that they can possibly win that money and actually improve upon the exterior of their store.
Because I do believe, I mean, this is like, how do you say it? You take a shower, but you put on the dirty clothes and you go back out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here they are fixing the corridor for the rail, but then the businesses are still there and they still look the same dilapidated way. You see what I'm saying? I want them to dress them up.
Right.
If they're doing a facelift on the whole, do it on everything.
Sure. A good example of that is at Slauson and Overhill. And what Mark Ridley Thomas came with that money for those businesses right there near, where Orleans and York is and all those businesses.
The one lady, the CJ's that owns the dress shop. She actually owns that. But here's the issue, though, Gilbert. Most of those business owners don't own the buildings they're in.
That's right.
And so that's the other issue, is getting them to a place where the owner, and I've obviously said to a number of these business owners, I know in a 30-year period, because some of them have been sitting in buildings for 30 years, you must have made enough money that you could have bought that
your
building.
own building.
I know that you have not been operating on a marginal basis for 30 years. So at some point, but it comes back down to the knowledge of having conversations where they can come in and say, okay, what does it take for me actually to buy the building that I'm in? And give them a time frame. So you're working with your team, your accountant, and finding out how much money do I need to put aside for my 20% down? What does my tax situation need to look like?
What's my credit score?
And how? And your credit. And here's the thing with the credit score. And I've seen it at so many access to capital workshops and seminars that all the banks have. When the banks are talking to people about their credit, the credit score looks like, oh my God, I am never going to be able to change this situation in my whole entire life. Well, you actually can change your credit score in 6 months. Just by turning around how you pay your bills, prioritizing and understanding how. I've done it for companies for the 30 years I've been in business. I've gone in, they have creditors crawling up there. And then in 6 months, I've got them. They're done in Bradstreet up to the top. I got their vendors. In fact, their vendors are calling, going, "What has happened over at your business?"
Yes.
And in 6 months to 8 months, got their credit score totally turned around, and now they can go out and look for a line of credit.
They need that education,
and that's what keeps them from doing that. So now, if I put you on a 5-year plan to buy your building, this is in place. You're working with your team, how to keep everything. Your tax man saying, okay, you need to make sure you got this in place. Make sure your bills are being paid. Your bookkeeper or a consultant like myself is saying, okay, let's make sure this is happening. Your books are in order. You have somebody like Gilbert telling you how to increase your revenue base, right? Yeah. Now, 5 years, you can buy your business. Now, we wouldn't see, because I've actually seen the expansion plan for this area. It don't look like us. In fact, the rendition that I saw, it had 6 black people walking at the ball.
Well, we had a discussion yesterday, and I was talking about this. I said, they're not fixing this rail strip here just to have things the status quo the way it is. They're going to bring in some new look people to live here. It's not just going to be the people here. So they're going to try to force people out of here, use it through that eminent domain stuff, try to get you to sell your property. Because look at what they're doing with downtown. Look at all those other areas. They're building it up. Who is coming in? It's not the people from here. So we need to be more knowledgeable about what's going on and start planning. You're saying some of those business owners have been there for 30 years, then they should have bought their property. One of the things that we've been talking about for small businesses, instead of leasing a property, try to buy the building. Yes. I know other ethnicities, they don't lease.
Yeah.
They buy the building.
And the SBA has a 504 program.
That's what I'm talking about.
You your own building at 10% down.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't have it down, partner up with somebody that they can invest with you, invest
and they
in
can
your
share the space.
And they can share the space. And then eventually, if you're looking to get your ownership, then you're paying in to buy it. There are so many ways that can happen, but unfortunately, we don't know about that.
Right.
So
the lack of
therefore,
knowledge.
we just sit there and say all we can do is rent.
Yeah.
But I will tell everybody this on the audience and actually on Facebook Live. If you went into the underground in 2008 and you didn't resurface at 2017 and you haven't bought anything, you haven't paid for anything on credit, you are just what they call flatline. You have an opportunity. You can start all over. It's just like brand new credit. Because everything that you had on there that was bad is gone. So go check your credit score with creditscore.com and all them others, and you'll see that you're flatline. And now you go to somebody and say, look, I need to start building my credit. Because everything that dropped off, anything that took place in 2008, and it's gone. It is gone in between 3 and 4 years. All retail credit and revolving credit drops off about that time. The only thing that still may need a 10-year period if you got a tax lien. And that may take 10 to 15 years to drop off. But if that's been that long since you done gone out there and tried to acquire something, your credit is probably in a much better shape, because it's better to have no credit, no liens, no debts, no marks, and start all over than to have that. So that's what you need to know, that you're not in as bad shape as you think you are.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And there's always the BK.
And the BK falls off between 7 and 10 years. Donald Trump uses it as a business model, man.
So I'm saying. 4 times.
He done it 4 times as a business model for him.
And there's more times to come too. Wow. To come.
So we need to stop operating in fear.
True.
We need to get information and how we can work and how we can take ourselves to. Everybody makes mistakes. And in 2008, when the market crashed, everybody was starting at the same place, except for the billionaires.
Like Taylor said, we got to start reporting those profits.
You're right.
Because if you don't report those profits, then you're not going to get a loan, you're not going to get a line of credit, you're not just get supplier credit. If you want to get supplier credit, you may not get that because you're not reporting your profits. So we got to start doing that as a business. Most of us small businesses, we say, we're taking a loss. Because we didn't want to pay the taxes.
Or we don't want the government to know about what we're doing.
Exactly.
And somebody, and a lot of that is also because somebody told them along the way.
Somebody told them
in their financial education was, there's certain things you don't tell anybody. So you don't report your cash. Keep your cash over here and then just report this. And the least amount I have to pay in taxes. But then when it comes to paying, where's your money? I don't see how much you made, $25,000.
Yeah, you know how many phone calls I get from people who are asking me, look, I've only been reporting like 12, 16,000. I want to go buy a car. So I went to talk to the finance company. They said I don't make enough money.
Exactly.
Could you make me up a tax return? or someone wants to buy a house and found out, guess what? They don't qualify.
They don't qualify.
Crystal, I tell them all the time, especially people in the hair industry, because that's a cash and carry.
That's a cash and carry.
But see, the thing about that part where can you make me up a tax return, that's still not going to work, because any lenders who own their shirt, they're going to fill out that Form 413 and send it to the IRS to verify their income for the previous years. So making the tax return you see what I'm saying? Making the tax return for it's not going to help.
But somebody told them that it would.
Somebody told them.
So they're operating. I mean, I had somebody told me something. I was somewhere at some business, and somebody came in and they were talking about something, and I said, well, what about, 30 years ago so-and-so was riding on a bike path and they fell off, and that's a dangerous path. I went, 30 years ago. Well, they haven't done any improvements in 30 years. Right. So we hear something that took place 20, 30, 40 years ago, and we still got there like it happened yesterday. And we're making decisions
based on that.
And choices based upon some old data.
We need to get out of that as small businesses. But Ken, I really love what you're doing in the community, and with Crystal and I partnering with you and other small businesses, I can see us elevating the status of these small businesses.
Absolutely.
Keep up the good work.
And you mentioned about the credit. We're going to have a workshop on July 13th with SBA Score.
Good.
The Los Angeles Urban League.
Good.
So, Crystal, I'd like you to maybe be there too.
Yeah.
So that's going to be on July the 13th. They're going to be coming in and giving everyone a course on business credit. So,
actually, I'll already be there. I'm teaching. That's the class, the kids. Camp. I'm there from the 10th to the 21st.
Oh, really? Okay, well,
I'll be in the back room.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
So I'll be in the back room. But I think I'd love to be able to see how we can create a business program.
Yeah.
I do know Mr. Goins had that, because I have a number of friends that were hairstylists, and that was the one thing that they got from Pacific Beauty College, was that he did insist on the business side of it. And I think that you can't teach them to be because that's an entrepreneurial business, right? They're not really going to work for anybody.
Right.
They're going eventually going to rent a booth or what have you. Right. So they're going to be entrepreneurs. So they need to have business plans written up. They need to understand how to forecast and their revenue, how many clients they need, how to balance it with retail. We're doing them a disservice if we're just teaching them a craft and a skill, and then we're not teaching them how to take that to create business. Same thing with the trade. Same thing with plumbing and air conditioning. If we're not teaching them how to go in and do your apprenticeship and then look at building so that you now can build your own business, then we're doing them a disservice.
See, Crystal, now would be a perfect time to tell our listeners our program that we have here at the Business Zone, where we're soliciting 10 small businesses, select businesses, and we're going to be working with them together, you and I. Mm-hmm. And we're going to train them in certifications. We're going to do in bookkeeping and cash flow management.
Yes.
We're going to do one in infrastructure, so you learn how to build your infrastructure, where we're going to introduce our patent pending program called Small Biz Pro, so they can use that and manage their documents, where they can access their documents 10 seconds or less from anywhere in the world. And also there'll be procurement opportunities in the system as well, and market research access. So all of those things we're doing for them. We're also going to do procurement, teaching them how to become business ready and contract ready. So that's what we're teaching here. Crystal and I, we've collaborated on that. So we're targeting 10 small businesses. We don't want it to be more than that. So we can give them our undivided attention.
Right. So it's it would be like a boot camp, a mastermind group, so that they
just for 10 businesses.
Right.
And we're also going to provide them with 5 hours of free consulting each. So the goal is to make these businesses successful. So once we're done with those businesses, then we can go to the bank, we can obtain lines of credit, we can go to contract providers and show them that these businesses are actually ready. So that's a program we're doing here on the Business Zone.
So if you have anybody, we have about 6 businesses already identified. So if you have any in that, any of that in your pocket of networks, that might be good candidates. Then we can take them to the next level, and then we just pass that on. But I think we can no longer wait for governmental entities. We can't even wait for our city and county and states. Right. We got to do it ourselves. Yeah. I think just here at this table, 88 years.
Yes.
You've been in the business and been doing what you've done for 29 years, and I'm 30 years. Yeah. So I think we can take. She's over here 30 years and doing what she does. Yeah. So if we take in our space, we can change what our community looks like. Yeah. But we got to get active. We got to get engaged. We got to take care of ourselves, because we can see a prime example of what happens when you take care of yourself in Washington. Yeah. All the big millionaires. In fact, Trump yesterday said somebody was asking why only billionaires and millionaires are on in his administration. He says, why else? Who else would I have here?
I don't want poor people.
I don't want poor people. So that kind of tells you, right?
Makes kind of sense.
It makes sense, right? So we need to bring people, because it brings our business up. If I'm helping you grow and that we got young people, because right at this point it's about the young. So we can help them become very successful business owners, give them street smarts and business savvy, then they can then take care of themselves and their parents, if any of y'all are parents, because they got to be able to take care of you. So we can help them get that, but they need some skills. They don't have that mindset.
Right.
And it's up to us to make that happen.
This program is going to be phenomenal because it's never been done before by any consultant. Never. You know, Crystal and I, we're advocates. We got this passion for small business. Absolutely. And we sometimes give a lot more than we should, but because we have that end goal in mind, we know that we want to get these business to the point, because you know how I got started with Small Biz Pro.
That's right.
Because I've been working at Metro, I've been working at LAUSD, LA Community College District,
That's right.
And I see what happens. On the inside, you know, they talk a good talk. They said, well, we've got these contracts for small businesses. Just come on in and you can get it. And then the small businesses come to the table. They go, you're not ready. You don't have your bonding. You don't have certification. You don't have insurance. Yeah. And then they kick them away. So I'm going, we got to come up with a system.
And the paperwork is intimidating.
The paperwork is very intimidating.
Yes. Exactly. And they don't see what the end results, because someone has told them, man, you do that, you ain't gonna you just gonna have a certification and not gonna do. But and that can happen if you don't know how to take it from the next step, the next level, how to actually make it work for yourself. So, this has been a fantastic, phenomenal interview. Anything you guys want? We got about 5 minutes left. Anything you guys want to tell our audience?
I'd just like to thank you two for having this forum.
Thank you.
Because it's something that's sorely needed. I'm going to promote this podcast. I'd also like to give a shout out to Felicia Morris, Morris Media Studios. She's a hidden gem right here on Crenshaw Boulevard.
She is.
And thank my buddies here.
Yeah, definitely. And Ken, you want to tell us where you're located, Ken?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually at the Los Angeles Urban League. We moved to 4801 Crenshaw Boulevard. We're at Suite 201.
Right, exactly. So if there's any businesses within the district in the corridor who need some assistance, they can reach you there, correct?
And Taylor?
Yeah, so I'm at 4371 Crenshaw Boulevard, which is right near Vernon. Now, let me just say this. If you look at my bio, the reason why I started Taxis Plus is because I want to expand. Okay. Now, I'm going to start giving classes in September.
Okay.
I'm looking for unique people because I'm ready to go, Crystal. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I just want to get the right young people in there, work with me, and let's just take this to the next level. And so I'm sending the word out right now. Yeah. You'll start seeing the advertisement, because what we said today is true. There's a lot of young, bright, excited people out there that are ready to get in there and do their thing, but they just need the right guidance.
Yes.
So you do know that I've been training bookkeepers in payroll and QuickBooks and the fundamental bookkeeping for the last 2.5 years, right?
Okay.
And I have access, and there's another program at the LAX. I'm out in Mount Sac, but there's another program. So if you need those individuals, you just need to tell me. And those that we've trained, we need entry-level places for them to come in to continue to learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they didn't just get those skills, they also got soft skills and Excel skills. They actually have learned how to create Excel spreadsheets from scratch. And so this has been they're in a 12-week program, and it's intense. And I teach them what I know.
More than they're learning a lot.
Be in touch.
So in fact, another CPA friend of mine asked me, he went to the graduation and picked out 2 employees that he can interview. So we have what you need. You just need to let us know what you need.
It's beautiful.
And Ken?
Well, I want to say thank you you, Gilbert and Crystal, and this is a wonderful opportunity. I want to give a shout out to a new business. It's the name is the Williams Nail Salon, and it's no relation to me, but I was passing by Vernon and Western Avenue, and I looked up, I saw the sign, it said Williams Nail Salon. I went in, I said, well, that doesn't sound like an Asian surname, so I went in, introduced myself. This is a young lady, the owner's name is Crystal.
Oh, okay.
And it's an African-American owned nail salon.
Oh, okay. So people actually have asked me for that.
Yes.
And where is she located?
She's on Vernon and Western.
Okay.
You know, there's a little Louisiana Fried Chicken on the corner.
Right. I know where that is.
They actually had a shopping center that kind of closed, and then now they're reopening it, and it has a nail salon.
That's fantastic. There's also a new beauty supply store over there by a young African-American woman. She's on Manchester and Normandy, in the same 2 doors up from Dr. Rosie.
Okay.
And then Brian, that's over on Century Avenue in Yukon. So those are the new black-owned businesses. So you need to have her reach out to me so she can come to RBD and we can get her in the resource guide and we can actually help promote her. That's what we're trying to do, is make sure our businesses are carried. So we're going to talk about that business piece to your school, and we're going to take your school to a whole nother kind of level. It needs to surpass.
Let's do that.
Okay, Nella, you need to be that school, right?
Yeah.
So we are going quickly the Biz Camp. So we still have slots open for young enterprising entrepreneurs from the age of 14 to 18. We're going to teach them how to write their business plan. We're being sponsored by American Airlines this year, and the kids are going to actually solve a pain that American Airlines has identified, and then they're going to create a solution that is a business. They're going to pair up in a collaboration. It's going to be a fantastic 10-day intensive camp from July 10th to July 21st from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Los Angeles Urban League at 4401 Crenshaw Boulevard. And what we need is for you to call us, because our orientation date is on July 1st, and we have about 6 spots left, and we need kids. So reach out to us.
Sounds good. Well, I don't have anything to add, and we're right on time to sally out of here. So I want to thank our guests for coming in today. This has been a great show.
Thank you.
I'm very excited. You guys have stimulated me. Now I'm ready to go out there and meet with you and start sharing some stuff with you to get you to next level. So, Crystal?
And that's all. It's just been a great week. I have a conference coming up I'm excited about going to in Baltimore at the Power Network on July 5th. So I'm trying to close everything up and close down Mount Sac and head on out to meet with some dynamite black people.
And just so you know, our anniversary is coming up in July. It's going to be July 8th, so we'll be on the air for 1 year now. Thanks to that wonderful lady over there, our producer, Felicia. So this has been the Business Zone, and we're out.
All right, see you next week.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.